The life of every tailed beast from Naruto. The tailed beasts, sometimes referred to as chakra monsters, are the 9 titanic living forms of chakra created by the Sage of 6 Paths out of chakra from the 10 tails. They're differentiated by the number of tails they have, ranging from 1 to 9. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of every tailed beast. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Also, double check if you are indeed subscribed. We've noticed that YouTube is unsubscribing some users from channels lately, and we want to make sure you see all of our videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Shukaku, the One-Tail. Shukaku, more commonly known as the One-Tail, is one of the 9-tailed beasts. It was last sealed within Gaara of Tsunagakure after being sealed in 2 other Jinchuriki before him. Background: Shukaku and the tailed beasts first came into being in the waning days of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, who used his creation of all things technique to divide the 10 tails chakra into 9 separate bodies and giving each a name. Sometime after being created, the sage explained to the young-tailed beasts that a link existed between them despite their separation. He also foretold of a day that they would be brought together again, though not as they were, and that at that time someone would emerge to show them what true power is. In the anime, before his death, Hagoromo sent Shukaku to live in a temple built for the purpose of protecting it in a desert region that would later become part of the Land of Wind. Long before the First Shinobi World War, Shukaku was captured by disciples of a temple and kept in Tsunagakure, to which the first Kazekage, who was invited along with the other Kage by Hashirama Senju into the first 5 Kage summit, attempted to use his possession of the Tanuki as leverage to gain wealth for his nation, as opposed to gaining another tailed beast. Shukaku's first Jinchuriki was a Suna priest named Bunpuku, who was locked away in a dungeon with the giant tea kettle, which was kept under constant guard. Over time, the citizens of Tsunagakure came to believe that Shukaku itself was a living ghost of a corrupted priest sealed inside a tea kettle. Despite the animosity the village showed for Shukaku and its host, the elderly priest held no ill will towards the Tanuki nor the villagers, viewing it as an equal and was content as long as Shukaku hadn't forgotten his name. Shukaku eventually came to appreciate Bunpuku and would later remember the words he imparted to it, that someday someone would approach it in the world to teach it about the heart and acceptance. Shukaku had another Jinchuriki who inspired the 3rd Kazekage to create his iron sand fighting style. Shukaku was eventually removed from their bodies, resulting in their respective deaths. When Karura became pregnant with Gaara, her husband, the 4th Kazekage, had Chiyo seal Shukaku into Gaara while he was still in the womb because out of his 3 children, Gaara was the only one compatible with the tailed beasts. Before Karura died giving birth, she passionately told her son that she would protect him, and according to her husband, her love seeped into the sand and was noted to form his automatic defense. However, Gaara couldn't properly control Shukaku's powers, killing or injuring several of Suna's shinobi and citizens by accident. Shukaku would even cite its hatred towards humans, warning Gaara not to sleep too long if he didn't want to give Shukaku an opening. Deemed a failure, the 4th Kazekage chose to test his son one last time, ordering Yashimaru to assassinate him and also tell him that his mother never loved him, and that she was used as a human sacrifice for the sealing process. Gaara failed the test, fully releasing the rampaging Shukaku, to which the 4th eventually used his gold dust to subdue the Tanuki. Konoha Crush. During the Chunin exams, Gaara partially transformed into Shukaku during his fight with Sasuke Uchiha, lashing out with the tailed beast's arm after being injured for the first time and terrifying Sasuke with a glimpse of its eye. During the Konoha Crush, Gaara later transformed into his full Shukaku form during his fight with Naruto Uzumaki, who summoned Gamabunta to counteract it. When Gaara exposed himself on top of Shukaku's head and used the feigning sleep technique, Shukaku took full control of its body and battled them. Shukaku's power was too much for Gamabunta to handle, resulting in both him and Naruto using the combination transformation to take the form of a giant fox, the 9 tails in the anime. Gamabunta used the form's claws and teeth to grab and restrain Shukaku, in order for Naruto to wake Gaara up with a punch, which suppressed Shukaku's power. Tsunagakure Support Mission. In the anime, when Gaara's student Matsuri got kidnapped by the 4 Celestial Symbols men in a plot to take Shukaku's chakra, he rescued her and partially transformed into Shukaku to defeat the recently resurrected Seimei. In Naruto's footsteps, the Friends' Paths. About 2 years after the Chunin exams in Konoha, another exam was held between Konoha and Suna. During this event, Gaara was attacked by Hoichi, who used the Fuinjutsu of Bunpuku to subdue Gaara and begin transferring Shukaku's chakra into himself. Ultimately, the extraction was stopped by the intervention of Neji Hyuga, who used his gentle fist to block the chakra points from which Shukaku was being extracted, thereby repelling the chains. Kazekage Rescue Mission. During Gaara's time as the 5th Kazekage, Deidara and Sasori from Akatsuki were assigned to capture Shukaku. During the battle between Gaara and Deidara, Gaara manifested Shukaku's arms several times to attack the Akatsuki member. After Deidara defeated Gaara in combat and took him to Akatsuki's lair in the Land of Rivers, Shukaku was forcefully extracted from Gaara and placed within the demonic statue of the Outer Path. Though the extraction killed him, Gaara was resurrected through Chiyo's one's own life reincarnation technique and still retained the ability to control sand. Birth of the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Shukaku was the only tailed beast sealed within the demonic statue to have not been resealed into Obito Uchiha's 6 Paths of Pain, and as such did not meet Naruto during his encounter with the other tailed beasts. When Naruto proceeded in his plan to pull all the beasts from Obito's body in order to stop the tree form of the Ten Tails flower from blooming and completing the Eye of the Moon plan, its chakra rejected Naruto as he contained none of the Tanuki's chakra. Gaara, having been bonded with Shukaku, instead took hold and began pulling the chakra himself. Through the efforts of the Kazekage, Shukaku was freed from its captivity alongside the other tailed beasts. Upon being freed, Shukaku started to recognize Naruto. Despite showing reluctance to Gaara's request for its help in sealing Madara Uchiha, Shukaku decided to comply only for the opportunity to surpass Kurama. When Madara ran towards them and the other tailed beasts, both Shukaku and Gaara conjured numerous sand bullets and were able to restrain the Uchiha's movements. Using the opportunity to attack, the tailed beasts each took a swing at their opponent, giving the sand-manipulating duo an opening to use their desert-layered Imperial Funeral Seal, but Madara managed to escape the sand pyramid with the Susanoo. As Naruto in tailed beast mode pinned Madara down with the tail, Shukaku and the other tailed beasts joined in and did the same to increase the damage, but the Uchiha survived their attacks and retreated to a safe distance. After he received his own right Rinnegan eye from a white Zetsu clone, Madara quickly summoned the demonic statue of the Outer Path from Obito's body, and used the Rinnegan to repel the tailed beasts. With the tailed beasts stunned, Madara then proceeded to chain them up and prepared to seal them back into the statue. As Madara began the process on Shukaku, Gaara intervened, declaring his refusal to let Madara get his former tailed beast. Shocked at how determined Gaara was to protect Shukaku despite their negative past, the Tanuki remembered Bunpuku's words of wisdom. From that, it also recalled Gaara explaining that he'd been grateful to Shukaku, as it was thanks to the Tanuki that Gaara had met his first friend, Naruto. As Madara launched an attack on Gaara, Shukaku quickly blocked the attack for its former Jinchuriki. Despite the newfound teamwork, Madara still rebuffed their efforts, and all the tailed beasts were resealed within the demonic statue. Later, after Madara succeeded in becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, a reformed Obito managed to steal some of Shukaku's chakra along with some of Gyuki's. Then, Obito sealed the yin half of Kurama into a dying Naruto to save his life. Obito also sealed a portion of Shukaku and Gyuki's chakra into Naruto. Inside Naruto's subconscious, Shukaku, Gyuki, and Yin Kurama found the young Jinchuriki talking with the spirit of Hagoromo Otsutsuki. As the other 6-tailed beasts manifested to join in the meeting, they all voiced their shared belief to the sage that Naruto was the child of prophecy. As Naruto fought Madara, Shukaku aided him by lending its magnet release chakra, allowing Naruto to use a Juinjutsu technique against Madara. Kaguya Otsutsuki strikes. After Madara's ambitions were cut short by Black Zetsu, who revealed to be the silent manipulator of shinobi history since it was first created by Kaguya Otsutsuki, the black entity used Madara's body as a medium to resurrect its creator. During the battle against the tyrannical princess, Shukaku and the other tailed beasts continued to support Naruto by giving him their combined power to overwhelm her. Ultimately, Kaguya was defeated by Naruto and Sasuke, who used the 6 Paths Chibaku Tensei to eject all the tailed beasts from her and seal her away inside a newly created moon within her own dimension. After the spirits of Hagoromo and the past Kage summoned both the tailed beasts and Team 7 back to the real world, the tailed beasts began to discuss their plans for the future since they were finally free. Sasuke, however, made his own intentions known, removing as many people as possible who could get in the way of his plans, leading the world through a revolution to do away with current shinobi systems, including killing all the current Kage and tailed beasts. Just as Sasuke swiftly subdued the tailed beast with his Rinnegan and sealed them within his Chibaku Tensei, Naruto assured the tailed beast that he would save them once again. After Naruto was able to defeat and reform Sasuke, the two dispelled the infinite Tsukiyomi and Sasuke released Shukaku, along with the other tailed beasts, from their prisons. Versus Momoshiki Arc. After having never initiated contact with Gaara since the two parted ways, Shukaku contacted the Kazekage to inform him that it had lost contact with Gyuki. Telling him that its connection with Naruto is still intact, Shukaku said that it had a bad feeling about the matter before leaving Gaara to deal with the matter as he saw fit. One Tail Escort Arc. In the anime, as Gaara was battling Urashiki Otsutsuki, Shukaku arrived to aid its former host. Together, the two were able to seal away the foe. Knowing that the seal won't hold Urashiki for long, it was decided that Kankuro, Shinki, and Boruto Uzumaki escort Shukaku to Konoha for its safety, while Gaara would return to Suna to recover. Also during which, to make sure Urashiki would not sense its chakra, Shukaku willingly sealed itself inside a small tea kettle. However, the seal still allowed Shukaku to move about as a miniature version of itself, wearing the kettle like armor. During their journey, they were intercepted by 4 of Urashiki's puppets. Kankuro decided to face the threat alone, while Boruto and Shinki went on ahead with Shukaku. Along the way, Boruto was amazed at how cold Shinki was. Shukaku noted that Gaara was a lot like this back in the day until Naruto's kindness swayed him to find a better path. Soon afterwards, they noticed a massive explosion from the battlefield. While Shinki insisted that they move on, Boruto refused to leave Kankuro when he needed them most, saying it would be a trashy thing to do. Boruto went back while Shinki continued on with Shukaku. Before long, they were engaged by one of Urashiki's puppets. While Shukaku was concerned about this threat, Shinki was determined to avenge Kankuro. Quickly, the puppet proved itself to be very versatile and dangerous, as it easily breached Shinki's defenses and injected him with a paralyzing poison. Shinki was forced to retreat with Shukaku, but was saved by the timely arrival of Boruto, Shikadai, and Tamari. While Shikadai and Tamari held off the puppet, Boruto helped Shinki and Shukaku to safety. Shukaku found the whole event very exciting, viewing Boruto to be similar, yet smarter and more skilled than his father was at the time. It decided to watch the fight, but Shinki quickly picked up the Tanuki and resumed his mission to Konoha. After Boruto caught up with Shukaku and Shinki, they were soon intercepted by Urashiki. While the Genin knew they were no match for him, they were able to pull off a strategy to again temporarily seal him. Knowing Urashiki would soon escape and intercept them at the border to the Land of Fire, they decided Boruto would distract Urashiki with a clone disguised as Shinki and carrying an empty tea kettle, while Shukaku and Shinki went on ahead. During the plan, Shukaku noticed how hesitant he was with this plan that had a high chance with death for Boruto. Once arriving at the border of the Land of Fire, Shukaku and Shinki were intercepted by Mirai Sarutobi, who interrogated Shinki for unsanctioned entrance. While Shinki refused to answer questions to a shinobi not above Chunin, Sai Yamanaka arrived, whose high ranking prompted Shinki to explain the situation. Sai took over delivering Shukaku to Naruto. Once arriving at the Hokage's office, Shukaku explained the situation for Boruto. Before the Hokage left, Sasuke arrived to reveal that he'd already rescued Boruto and Urashiki had escaped. They decided to keep Shukaku at Naruto's home for protection. Upon arriving to meet Boruto's family, Himawari immediately took a liking to the miniaturized tailed beast, treating the Tanuki as a talking Shukaku toy and kept it close to her. While Shukaku found the girl's attachment annoying, it was intrigued to learn that she once knocked out Kurama. Hoping to learn how she did it as a chance to have some mocking rights on the fox, Shukaku decided to play nice with the young girl. Ultimately, however, when learning that Himawari had no knowledge of the incident, Shukaku quickly turned cold again and told her to leave it alone, much to her sadness. While alone and taking a nap, its tea kettle form was mistaken for trash and taken to a scrapyard. As Shukaku was on the verge of being thrown into a trash compactor, Himawari, who was desperately looking for the Tanuki, activated her Byakugan again and quickly saved Shukaku. Amazed at how genuinely concerned Himawari was for it, Shukaku became kinder to her and openly admitted to Kurama that humans can be very entertaining. Later, when Naruto proceeded to move Shukaku to a new safe house, the Tanuki waved Boruto and Himawari goodbye with its tail. Matatabi, the Two Tails. Matatabi, more commonly known as the Two Tails, is one of the 9-tailed beasts. It was last sealed within Yugito Ni of Kumogakure. Background: Matatabi and the tailed beasts first came into being in the waning days of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, who used his creation of all things technique to divide the 10 tails chakra into 9 separate bodies, and giving each a name. Sometime after being created, the sage explained to the young tailed beasts that a link existed between them despite their separation. He also foretold of a day that they would be brought together again, though not as they were. and that at that time someone would emerge to show them what true power is. In the anime, before his death, Hagoromo sent Matatabi to live in a temple built for the purpose of protecting it in a canebrake region. Over time, many people came to believe that Matatabi, like Shukaku, was once a human that turned into a living ghost. During the First Shinobi World War, Hashirama Senju captured 8 of the tailed beasts and sold Matatabi and Gyuki to Kumogakure at the Five Kage Summit, as a sign of friendship and to ensure a balance of power amongst their new villages. In a cavern behind the Falls of Truth, where Jinchuriki learned to control their tailed beasts' power, there are wall murals of Matatabi and Gyuki, which indicates how long they were associated with the Land of Lightning. The tailed beast would end up being sealed within Yugito-ni when she was 2 years old. She was placed into a detestable training program in order to learn to control Matatabi's power. In the anime, Yugito agreed to have Nekoba collect Matatabi's paw print for the Paw Encyclopedia. Akatsuki Suppression Mission. Soon after her introduction, Yugito was captured by 2 Akatsuki members, Hidan and Kakazu, although it is unknown who was specifically assigned to capture her. Despite luring her 2 pursuers into a closed space, sealing the exits and transforming herself into the Two Tails, Yugito was overpowered and rendered unconscious by the 2 Akatsuki members. Zetsu later arrived to take her off their hands. After 3 days of the Akatsuki extracting the Two Tails into the statue from Yugito and getting sealed, its Jinchuriki died afterwards as a result of having her tailed beast extracted. Fourth Shinobi World War Climax. After Son Goku was resealed into the demonic statue of the Outer Path, Tobi, who was intent on going all out from that point on, forced Yugito to fully transform into the Two Tails. The opposing tailed beasts prepared to attack the shinobi, but they were rebuffed by a fully transformed Naruto. Wasting no time in their attacks, the Two Tails attempted to pounce from behind, while Naruto and Kurama were incapacitated by the Six Tails, but both the giant cat and slug got slammed with such force that they were sent flying. The opposing beasts regrouped and then prepared a collaborative tailed beast ball, which was met by one from Naruto and Kurama. As Naruto entered a deeper plane of the tailed beast's consciousness, he met the remaining 5 tailed beasts and their Jinchuriki. Summoning Naruto before it, the giant cat told the young shinobi that it intended to keep the promise it made to Son Goku. As it told Naruto to stretch out his hand, Matatabi introduced itself. Later, as Matatabi was freed from the chakra receiver, it affirmed Kurama's belief that Naruto was the person the Sage of Six Paths had spoken about so long ago, before being resealed into the demonic statue of the Outer Path. Birth of the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. Matatabi appeared alongside the other tailed beasts, with the exception of Gyuki and Shukaku when the Ten Tails looked down at Naruto. The image of the tailed beasts, along with a silhouette of the Sage of Six Paths, drove the Ten Tails to a fit as it evolved further. Later, Naruto, with the help of the remaining allied shinobi forces, managed to free Matatabi by pulling its chakra out of Obito's body, alongside that of the other tailed beasts. When Madara ran towards the tailed beasts, both Shukaku and Gaara conjured numerous sand bullets and were able to restrain the Uchiha's movements. Using the opportunity to attack, the tailed beasts each took a swing at their opponent, giving the sand-manipulating duo an opening to use their desert-layered Imperial Funeral Seal, but Madara managed to escape the sand period with his Susanoo. As Naruto in tailed beast mode pinned Madara down with a tail, Matatabi and the other tailed beasts joined in and did the same to increase the damage, but the Uchiha survived their attacks and retreated to a safe distance. After he received his own right Rinnegan eye from a white Zetsu clone, Madara quickly summoned the demonic statue of the Outer Path from Obito's body, and used the Rinnegan to repel the tailed beasts. With the tailed beasts stunned, Madara then chained them up and sealed them back into the demonic statue. Later, the chakra Matatabi transferred to Naruto earlier manifested within Naruto's subconscious, along with the other tailed beasts, to speak with the young Jinchuriki and the spirit of Hagoromo Otsutsuki. There, they all voiced their shared belief to the sage that Naruto was the child of prophecy. Kaguya Otsutsuki strikes. After Madara's ambitions were cut short by Black Zetsu, who revealed to be the silent manipulator of shinobi history since it was first created by Kaguya Otsutsuki, the black entity used Madara's body as a medium to resurrect its creator. During the battle against the tyrannical princess, Matatabi and the other tailed beasts continued to support Naruto by giving him their combined power to overwhelm her. Ultimately, Kaguya was defeated by Naruto and Sasuke, who who used the Six Paths Chibaku Tensei to eject all the tailed beasts from her and seal her away inside a newly created moon within her own dimension. After the spirits of Hagoromo and the past Kage summoned both the tailed beasts and Team 7 back to the real world, the tailed beasts began to discuss their plans for the future since they were finally free. Sasuke, however, made his own intentions known, removing as many people as possible who could get in the way of his plans of leading the world through a revolution to do away with current shinobi systems, including killing all the current Kage and tailed beasts. Just as Sasuke swiftly subdued the tailed beasts with his Rinnegan and sealed them with his Chibaku Tensei, Naruto reassured the tailed beasts he would save them once again. After Naruto was able to defeat and reform Sasuke, the two dispelled the infinite Tsukiyomi, and Sasuke released Matatabi, along with the other tailed beasts, from their prisons. One Tail Escort Arc. When Urashiki Otsutsuki began targeting Shukaku for its chakra, it was deduced he was interested in all the tailed beasts' chakra. Naruto organized a telepathic meeting with the other tailed beasts. However, Matatabi, Kokuo, and Chome each refused to accept aid from humans, in fear of being captured and used again by them, despite their trust in Naruto, and thus decided to not attend the meeting. Abilities. As a tailed beast, Matatabi has an enormous supply of chakra that it can transfer to others and can create the tailed beast ball. As its appearance suggests, it can use fire release, which it can lend to its Jinchuriki to create fireballs. Matatabi also has flexible muscles, which grant it great speed despite its large size. Matatabi's raw strength can easily crush an opponent or send them flying with one swipe of its paw. When combined with the other tailed beast's tails, it could shatter and completely obliterate a Senjutsu-enhanced complete Susanoo. Personality. Compared to most of the tailed beasts, Matatabi was shown to be respectful and polite towards others, speaking in a formal manner using watashi when referring to itself and using honorifics when addressing Naruto while introducing itself to the young shinobi. Appearance. Matatabi is two-tailed, like a Bakaneko, and completely engulfed in flames, like a Kasha, though its flames are an animated cobalt blue and black. It also has heterochromatic eyes, with the right being yellow and the left being green, similar to an odd-eyed cat without pupils. When forced to transform by Tobi, Matatabi increased in size compared to when Yugito unleashed it. During the last remaining days of the Sage of Six Paths' life, Matatabi was a young flaming kitten, much smaller than its present-day self, but was still much larger than the sage. Isobu, the Three Tails. Isobu, more commonly known as the Three Tails, is one of the nine-tailed beasts. It was last sealed within Yagura Karatachi of Kirigakure. Background. Isobu and the tailed beasts first came into being in the waning days of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, who used his creation of all things technique to divide the Ten Tails chakra into 9 separate bodies, and giving each a name. Sometime after being created, the sage explained to the young tailed beasts that a link existed between them despite their separation. He also foretold of a day that they would be brought together again, though not as they were, and that at that time someone would emerge to show them what true power is. In the anime, before his death, Hagoromo sent Isobu to live in a temple surrounding a large misty lake that would later become part of the Land of Water. During the First Shinobi World War, Hashirama Senju captured 8 of the tailed beasts and sold Isobu and Saiken to Kirigakure at the Five Kage Summit as a sign of friendship and to ensure a balance of power amongst the new villages. Decades later, Kirigakure, having been manipulated by Madara Uchiha, sealed Isobu into for Rin to be taken back to her village as a Trojan horse, releasing the tailed beast to wreak havoc within Konoha. This failed, however, as Rin was fully aware of their schemes and opted to kill herself at the hands of her friend and fellow teammate Kakashi Hatake before their objectives could come to fruition. Eventually, Isobu was revived and sealed within its next Jinchuriki, Yagura, the 4th Mizukage, who managed to gain complete control and harmony with it. However, Yagura was placed under the genjutsu of Obito Uchiha as Mizukage until his death when it was dispelled. Sometime later, it once again revived, however it wasn't resealed into a host by the time it was encountered. In the anime, Tsunade states that Isobu disappeared after the 3rd Shinobi World War. Three Tails appearance. In the anime, Orochimaru instructed Kabuto Yakashi and Team Guren to take a young boy named Yukimaru to a lake. After they arrived, Kabuto forced Yukimaru to release all of his chakra, which caused the Three Tails to begin to surface from the lake. With Guren's help, the beast was completely revealed and they attempted to capture it. Their attempts proved insufficient, however, and the beast created a large tidal wave to wash its attackers away. The tidal wave gained the attention of a nearby group of Konohagakure ninja who tried to use four-corner ceiling barrier to permanently trap the beast in its own dimension. Just as the ceiling began to work, the Konoha ninja were interrupted by Guren, which prompted the beast to attack them all. Yukimaru was able to calm the beast down temporarily, but after he became tired, the Three Tails turned his attention to him. Guren and Naruto Uzumaki came to his defense, but were swallowed in the process. With the help of their allies on the outside, they were able to escape, and the Konoha ninja tried once more to seal the beast. Just when the sealing was almost complete, Yukimaru, angered by the apparent death of Guren, empowered the beast to break free of its restraints. The Three Tails went on a rampage, attacking everyone nearby and crushing Nurari, Kagiri, and Kiho. Its attempts to attack Yukimaru, however, had no effect. It was only through the use of wind-release Toad Oil Flame Bullet that the beast was driven away. The sealing attempt was left to Anbu members, and the remaining Konoha ninja returned home. Deidara and Tobi of Akatsuki soon found these Anbu members and disposed of them. Akatsuki Suppression Mission. In the manga, Tobi and Deidara confronted the beast around the same time Naruto Uzumaki had begun his wind release training, to which it responded by beginning to chase Tobi. With the Three Tails distracted, Deidara molded an explosive clay fish in an attempt to capture it. It was unclear if this marked the end of the battle, as the remainder of the battle went unseen. As the two towed the Three Tails to the Akatsuki lair after the battle, Tobi gloated at bringing the Three Tails down with his special technique, but Deidara thought otherwise. It was later sealed in the sealing statue. Fourth Shinobi, into the demonic statue of the Outer Path, Tobi, who was intent on going all out from that point on, forced Yagura to fully transform into the Three Tails. The opposing tailed beasts prepared to attack the shinobi, but they were rebuffed by a the Six Tails had incapacitated them, but the turtle was stopped by the Eight Tails. Freeing itself from the Ox's grasp, the opposing beasts regrouped and prepared a collaborative drama. As Naruto entered a deeper plane of the tailed beast's consciousness, Isobu, who remembered meeting him in the anime, introduced itself to the young shinobi. Later, as Isobu was freed from the chakra receiver, it affirmed Kurama's belief that Naruto was the person the Sage of Six Paths had spoken about so long ago before being resealed into the demonic statue of the Outer Path. Isobu appeared alongside the other tailed beasts, with the exception of Gyuki and Shukaku when the Ten Tails looked down at Naruto. Thanks to the forces, Isobu, along with the other imprisoned tailed beasts, when Madara ran towards the tailed beast and were able to restrain the Uchiha's movements, giving the sand manipulating duo an opening to use their desert layered Imperial Funeral Seal. Uchiha the black entity used Madara's body as a medium to resurrect its creator. And tailed beasts. Just as Sasuke swiftly subdued the tailed beasts with his Rinnegan and sealed them with expelled the infinite Tsukiyomi, and Sasuke released Isobu, along with the other tailed beasts, from their prisons. One Tail Escort Arc. When Ura Shikiyotsu Tsuki began targeting Shukaku for its chakra, it was deduced he was interested in all the tailed beasts' chakra. Naruto for Matatabi, Kokuo, and Chome, who each refused to accept aid from humans in fear of being captured and used again by them, despite their trust in Naruto, and thus they decided to skip the meeting. Personality. Isobu speaks in a timid manner, referring to itself as Boku, which is usually used by young boys. Seeing as Yagura had full control of it and befriended it, it's assumed that Isobu isn't as rude or outspoken as some of the other tailed beasts and got along with his Jinchuriki. Abilities. As a tailed beast, Isobu possesses an enormous amount of chakra that it can transfer to others and can create the tailed beast ball. It also has the ability to create coral and swim at very high speeds. Kirigakure was so confident of its destructive potential that they, under the influence of Madara Uchiha, intended to unleash Isobu in the midst of Konohagakure to destroy the village. In the anime, it could produce a hallucinogenic mist that exploited the victim's insecurities and forced the victim to face them. Abilities. Physical prowess. Isobu can roll into a ball to move about quickly and attack its opponents, making full use of the protrusions on its shell in a manner similar to the Akimichi clan's spiked human bullet tank. Isobu's tough skin and shell also grant it additional defense, allowing it to withstand nearly all forms of attack. It can also use any of its 3 spiked tails to strike its opponents and break through most defenses. In the anime, Isobu's only known physical weakness is its eye. As tough as its skin and shell are, it cannot harden its eyes and thus seems to keep one closed at all times. Abilities. Ninjutsu. In the anime, Isobu's abilities were greatly elaborated upon. It could create shockwaves to repel attacks and produce large tidal waves around it, enabling it to overwhelm Guren's crystal release several times over the course of their battle. When Isobu ate something, thousands of miniature versions of itself would attack what was eaten within its stomach, presumably to speed up the digestion process. It is also shown capable of performing space-time ninjutsu, materializing an entrance to a separate dimension in which it could hide its presence until it was ready to return wherever it chose. Abilities. Nature transformation. As a turtle, Isobu has an affinity for water release. In the anime, it was shown to fire powerful water blasts that are capable of destroying an entire cliffside. Son Goku, the Four Tails. Saiten Taisei Son Goku, more commonly known as Son Goku or simply the Four Tails, is one of the 9-tailed beasts. It was last sealed within Roshi of Iwagakure. Background. Son Goku and the tailed beasts first came into being in the waning days of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, who used his creation of all things technique to divide the 10 tails chakra into 9 separate bodies, giving each a name. Sometime after being created, the sage explained to the young-tailed beasts that a link existed between them despite their separation. He also foretold of a day that they'd be brought together again, though not as they were, and that at this time someone would emerge to show them what true power is. In the anime, before his death, Hagoromo sent Son to live in a temple built for the purpose of protecting it, in a desolate rocky region that would later become part of the Land of Earth. Eventually, Son moved on to live in a new location known as the Water Screen Cave, reigning over the monkeys that resided there. During the First Shinobi World War, Hashirama Senju captured 8 of the tailed beasts and sold Son and Kokuo to Iwagakure at the 5 Kage Summit, as a sign of friendship and to ensure a balance of power amongst the new villages. The tailed beast would end up being sealed within Roshi decades later, who left his village in a journey to gain a better understanding and control of the tailed beast. Itachi Pursuit Mission. After an unseen and difficult battle with Kisame Hoshigaki, Roshi was defeated and captured by the Akatsuki member. The Four Tails was later extracted and sealed, leading to Roshi's death. Fourth Shinobi World War. Climax. During the Fourth Shinobi World War, Tobi forced Roshi to fully transform into the Four Tails and attack Killer Bee and Gyuki, managing to flip the latter over by its tentacles. Later, Son attempted to swallow Naruto. Naruto tried to free himself from the beast's jaws, but failed. The chained-up Four Tails asked Naruto, now inside the tailed beast, if he had come to steal its power. It lashed out when Naruto referred to it as the Four Tails and demanded that Naruto address it by its proper title, Son Goku. As their conversation continued, Son was shocked to discover Naruto to be an open, honest young man. After Son cursed humans for sealing the tailed beasts away and denying their existence, Naruto shared that he was once treated in a similar manner, and that he hated to see someone like Tobi controlling the tailed beasts. After initially laughing at the prospect of Naruto, a Jinchuriki, wanting to befriend his tailed beast, Son realized that Naruto's ambition was genuine, and told him there might be a way to stop its rampage if the chains that bound it were undone. As Sun explained to Naruto about the location of the chakra receiver embedded in its body, the beast warned him not to expect it to become his ally, due to its distrust against Jinchuriki. Naruto used shadow clones to force Sun to vomit him up. A Naruto clone who stayed inside the tailed beast's mouth went into sage mode and pushed the receiver from the inside, while he himself pulled it from the outside. Although Naruto succeeded, he quickly realized that Sun was still bound. Sun explained that the demonic statue of the outer path still held its chakra and that Naruto had only freed it from Tobi's control. As Naruto argued with the beast over wanting to save it completely and not just wanting to free it from Tobi's control, Sun, in disbelief of the young Jinchuriki's character, offered its chakra to Naruto, pleased that he genuinely tried to rescue it. Sun was then resealed into the demonic statue of the outer path, leaving Roshi's body behind. In Fu's flashback of the time before Sun was sealed, it was revealed that Roshi attempted to make amends with Sun, wondering whether or not they could have traversed a path more similar to Naruto and Kurama's. Sun told Roshi that if he wasn't so stubborn and hadn't forgotten its name all those years ago, it might have been possible. As the beast was resealed into the demonic statue of the outer path, it parted on good terms with Roshi, who told it that he had never forgotten its name, but rather was too proud to address it properly. He then wondered if calling the beast Sun would be appropriate. Birth of the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. Son Goku appeared alongside the other tailed beasts with the exception of Gyuki and Shukaku when the Ten-Tails looked down at Naruto. The image of the tailed beasts, along with a silhouette of the Sage of Six Paths, drove the Ten-Tails to a fit as it evolved further. Later, Son Goku was extracted from Obito along with the other tailed beasts by the combined efforts of the allied shinobi forces. Upon being freed, Son Goku noted that Naruto had truly kept his promise and saved them. Upon learning that Gaara, who noted that he considered Naruto his first friend, intended to seal Madara with Shukaku's assistance, Son declared that it too, along with the other freed tailed beasts, would also assist to repay Naruto. When Madara ran towards the tailed beasts, both Shukaku and Gaara conjured numerous sand bullets and were able to restrain the Uchiha's movements. Using the opportunity to attack, the tailed beasts each took a swing at their opponent, giving the sand-manipulating duo an opening to use their desert-layered Imperial Funeral Seal, but Madara managed to escape the sand pyramid with his Susanoo. As Naruto in tailed beast mode pinned Madara down with the tail, Son and the other tailed beasts joined in and did the same to increase the damage, but the Uchiha survived their attacks and retreated to a safe distance. After he received his own right Rinnegan eye from a white Zetsu clone, Madara quickly summoned the demonic statue of the outer path from Obito's body, and used the Rinnegan to repel the tailed beasts. With the tailed beasts stunned, Madara then chained them up and resealed them back into the demonic statue. Later, the chakra Son transferred to Naruto manifested within Naruto's subconscious, along with the other tailed beasts, to speak with the young Jinchuriki and the spirit of Hagoromo Otsutsuki. There, they all voiced their shared belief to the sage that Naruto was the child of prophecy. As Naruto fought Madara, Son aided Naruto by lending him its lava-release chakra to empower his Rasen Shuriken, which completely overwhelmed Madara and cut down the tree form of the Ten-Tails. Kaguya Otsutsuki strikes. After Madara's ambitions were cut short by Black Zetsu, who revealed to be the silent manipulator of shinobi history since it was first created by Kaguya Otsutsuki, the black entity used Madara's body as a medium to resurrect its creator. During the battle against the tyrannical princess, Son and the other tailed beasts continued to support Naruto by giving him their combined power to overwhelm her. Ultimately, Kaguya was defeated by Naruto and Sasuke, who used the Six Paths Chibaku Tensei to eject all of the tailed beasts from her and seal her away inside of a newly created moon within her own dimension. Son complimented Kurama for having such a good Jinchuriki, even though it admitted the boy was a bit naive at times. After the spirits of Hagoromo and the past Kage summoned both the tailed beasts and Team 7 back to the real world, the tailed beasts began to discuss their plans for the future, since they were finally free, with Son expressing its desire to return to its cave. Sasuke, however, made his own intentions known, removing as many people as possible who could get in the way of his plans of leading the world